Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 27, 2021. A few years ago, there was a fad. I never saw this personally, and I don't know how prevalent it is today, but there were restaurants with a sushi buffet. And the way they had the sushi arranged is that there would be a long table and there was a woman lying down on the table with no clothes on, and the pieces of sushi would be placed on top of this woman, this unclothed woman. And at least one place that did this, they had a sign posted that had rules. And the rules included respect the model, no tips, no talking to the model. So aside from all the other issues involved, how can you respect the model when you are literally treating this human being as a platter? From a Torah point of view, there is nothing embarrassing or shameful about a woman's body or a man's body. Women in no way are second-class citizens within traditional Judaism. Men and women have equal value before God and equally important missions in life. Physical beauty and intimacy is to be appreciated and enjoyed within the proper context between husbands and wives. And the reason for the Torah's laws of modesty, tzniut or tznius, is precisely to prevent the turning of people into objects, to prevent relating only on the basis of superficial physical appearance. William Butler Yeats wrote, "Only God, my dear, could love you for yourself alone and not for your yellow hair." But that is the goal of the Torah laws of modesty, to try to love the person and not just their outer appearance. In our parsha, Chayei Sarah, we meet a woman who left a repressive culture that stifled her identity, and she left in order to help start a revolution that would change the world, that would introduce modesty, spirituality, and morality to the world. And her name is Rebecca. And the first thing she does after leaving her father's house on her way back with Eliezer, Abraham's servant, in order to eventually marry Yitzchak, Isaac, the Torah tells us, Vatisa Rivka es eineha, Rivka lifted her eyes, Vatere es Yitzchak, and she saw Yitzchak in the distance. She knew that this is the person that she would ultimately end up marrying. Vatipal meyal hagamol, and she got off the camel on which she was riding. Vatomer al ho'eved, and she said to Eliezer, the servant who was guiding her, Mihu ish halazeh ha'olech basadeh likrasenu, who is that man in the distance who's walking towards us to meet us? Vayomer ha'eved hu Adoni, the servant said, he is my master, meaning Yitzchak. Vatikach hatzaif vatiskas, and Rivka took a veil and covered her face. In many places today, especially in Quebec, a woman wearing a veil is a very complex and controversial subject, a subject that should not be regulated by government. That's a subject for another discussion. Rivka did not remain veiled, and Judaism does not put forth the idea that women should be veiled. However, Rivka did want that the first moment she met Yitzchak, who would be her future husband, she wanted to make sure that his attraction to her would not only be because of her abundant physical beauty, but also because of her many internal qualities, because she was worthy to be a matriarch of the Jewish people. This is the source of our practice, that a bride wears a veil under the chuppah, like Rivka, so that it is clear to both the husband and the wife, and clear to all in attendance, that the attraction between them should not just be to their physical appearance, which will necessarily fade with time, but to their lasting inner qualities that will provide the basis for love and respect throughout their lives. One of our closest friends wrote a poem in honor of her daughter's wedding, and she read the poem at their Sheva Brachos. And a few lines from this poem read as follows. The title of the poem is Bedeken, which is the name of the ceremony of placing a veil over the face of the bride just before the chuppah. Whose trembling smile is that? My daughter beams at her beloved. But whose smile is that on her face? It is the smile of their private hours. It is my daughter's smile as the wife of her husband, properly unknown to me and her father. It is the smile of their future together. He puts the veil down over her face. That is the goal of the Jewish concept of tznius, of modesty, demonstrated in our parsha by Rivka as an essential element in the creation of the Jewish people. My friends, I want to wish you a great day, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.